Now on One, David Whiteley with Inside Out.
Hello, this week I'm in Huntingdon and this is what's coming up on tonight's Inside Out. The father campaigning to find the truth about the death of his son, Lee Balkwell.
When you get a police officer, give you 4 different ways that your boy's supposed to have died. That raised the hairs on the back of my neck and I thought, hello, there's something wrong here.
We challenge one of the last people to see Lee Balkwell alive.
Did you stage the accident? Did you kill Lee?
No, absolutely, 100% not.
We're with the people who are happy living on the edge of a cliff and hear their idea to save threatened coastlines. And we find out why the Huntingdon Gymnastics Club produces so many Olympic dreamers. There are 3 surprising stories from where we live on tonight's Inside Out. Hello, welcome to a bit of a soggy day here in Huntingdon. Now later in the programme we'll be meeting the athletes who first dreamed of Olympic success right here in this town. But first tonight, the story of a father who is convinced the circumstances around his son's mysterious death were covered up. He's also determined to prove that it was not an accident. Debbie Tubby has this special investigation.
In this cemetery in Essex lies the body of Lee Balkwell. He was found dead, trapped in a cement mixer in bizarre circumstances. Nearly every day, his parents, Les and Jackie, come to tend the grave and remember their son. It's been 9 years, but they haven't been able to let go.
Shouldn't have to do this, should we?
Consumed by grief, but above all, a sense of overwhelming injustice, Les and Jackie believe their son was murdered. Les has proved the police investigation was incompetent. He's also spent £130,000, sold his house and his classic cars to fund his fight, and he now lives here, and this is owned by the Housing Association.
We need to have justice, but it will still leave a hole.
Because Lee ain't here.
Yeah.
We were a tight-knit family. We still are, but we're a tight-knit family. We've one missing now. It's not torn our family apart, but it's torn at us, and the strain and trauma that it's caused is just unbelievable. And to stretch it out that long, one of the reasons it's been stretched out that long is because we haven't been told the truth.
Lee was 33, he'd just become a dad, a keen sportsman, West Ham supporter and county golf player.
Lee was very sort of patient and person and very caring. And he'd do anything for anybody, really. He was up for a laugh and a joke.
Here he is, best man at his friend's wedding, a year before he died.
Proud to be Alex's best man, and I ain't saying no more, and I'm going to read the card.
He was an experienced concrete mixer driver. He needed extra money and went to work for the Bromleys at their family firm, Upminster Concrete Limited. It was a decision which would cost him his life. At 8 o'clock on the night Lee Balkwell died, he can be seen on this CCTV returning from a job to the company's base at Baldwin's farm. His employer, Simon Bromley, in the shorts, is there when the lorry arrives. He and Mr. Bromley chip out concrete, which had started to set inside the mixer after an alleged mechanical failure. At 9:30, it looks like they've finished the work. At 11:37, Lee goes for a Chinese takeaway. He rings home to say he'll be back late. But why did he return after midnight? It's the last time he was seen alive on CCTV. Something went wrong. The Bromleys say he was still cleaning the vehicle. The tachograph suggests the lorry engine was turned off for 3 hours until 3 minutes to 1. 6 minutes later, the ambulance is called. It was too late. Lee was dead, his head crushed, but the details are still disputed. A paramedic questions foul play in his notebook. Fire crews are also suspicious. The Bromleys insist it was an accident, Within 15 minutes of arriving, the police reached the same conclusion. So what happened in this lane more than 9 years ago? Whether it was an industrial accident or whether it was something more sinister, what is clear is that Essex Police's investigation was seriously flawed. Lee Balkwell's father believes there was a cover-up. He says he's found a motive, but he won't reveal it on camera.
It seemed a strange time that he was supposed to have been working, but when you get a police officer, give you 4 different ways that your boy's supposed to have died, that raised the hairs on the back of my neck, and I thought, hello, there's something wrong here.
And there were other questions. Why were his clothes destroyed days later? Why wasn't his death treated as foul play?
The amount of mistakes that have been made is just beggars belief.
Over the years, Les has uncovered that forensic testing had not been carried out. He received a CCTV tape from the police, but a vital hour is missing. Phone records were unchecked, witnesses not interviewed. This concrete mixer is the same model, but from a different, unconnected company. Now, Lee's body was found trapped here between the drum and the chassis. How he ended up here is crucial to the whole investigation. Did he emerge feet first from the inspection hatch just as the drum started to roll? Simon Bromley said he tried to stop it, but the emergency button didn't work. The Bromleys give evidence at Lee's inquest. The jury find Lee was unlawfully killed by gross negligence manslaughter. Lee had found himself working in the shadows of a murky underworld. Simon Bromley has since been jailed for 8 years for supplying cocaine and selling a rifle to an undercover police officer. His father, David Bromley, was jailed for 3 years for conspiracy to supply the Class A drug.
What you see here, Debbie, is all the files that have built up over the 9.5 years, coming on to 10 years now. I think what people ought to realise, I'm just a lorry driver, but it's took over my life.
There have been 5 reviews into Lee's death. One of those, by West Midlands Police in 2009, made 91 recommendations to Essex Police. As the weight of evidence built up, Les Balkwell made 130 separate complaints. Today, the Independent Police Complaints Commission published its report. In these 147 pages, 8 police officers have been criticised, 4 of which have since retired. It also says in here the failure of the investigation in those early stages has left evidential gaps that may never be filled. In total, 25 serious complaints were upheld by the IPCC. It found evidence of poor police work, but not of corruption alleged by Les Balkwell. Even so, he feels vindicated. Essex Police have now sent a letter of apology to Les Balkwell. Former Chief Superintendent Graham Bull had 13 IPCC complaints upheld against him. He didn't consider foul play and failed to order forensic tests. He retired in 2009. Chief Superintendent Gareth Wilson failed to identify witnesses to be interviewed. And Chief Superintendent Simon Coxall had 5 complaints upheld, including failing to supply the family with a full CCTV tape. No one from Essex Police agreed to be interviewed, but said the majority of the complaints were not upheld. They told us 3 officers will be subject to a formal debrief. They also said their approach to investigating unnatural deaths has changed, and that their Serious Crime Directorate continues to investigate Lee Balkwell's death. I went to talk to one of the men Les accuses of killing his son.
He was a lovely bloke, you couldn't say nothing else about him. Everybody liked him, we all liked him. And, you know, it was just a tragic accident. I'll keep saying that, but that's just God's truth.
Did you stage the accident? Did you kill Lee?
No, absolutely, 100% not.
And your son, would he have been involved?
No. We lost a good worker. I mean, it's a big loss to all of us. I mean, there was no need for that, you know, there was no need for what he said. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's as simple as that. We had nothing to hide. And you know, accidents are accidents, aren't they?
How have you felt about these sort of accusations that he was murdered on the night?
I was disgusted.
Is it time for you to consider that it could be an accident?
Well, no, because we know it wasn't. There's information in the system that I can't speak about today.
So when will you let this go?
When there's nowhere else to go. We haven't reached that stage yet. There's still other avenues. As much as I want a resolution and justice, I'm going to struggle. The truth about it is, I'm frightened of that situation because I've then got to face up that he's gone.
And if you'd like us to look into something here on Inside Out, you can send me an email, david.whiteley@bbc.co.uk. And you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm @David_InsideOut.